mean, the man has destroyed his country. What else do you expect from him?
Completely, exactly. So they come out and they call Epstein Fury. I mean the epic Fury.
Quick one. You know what I realized? I was looking at the map of the last 8 days since this conflict started. For some reason, the central part of Iran, because everything United States is hitting right now is about 5% of the country. This is the region that are bordered with Azerbaijan and the Kurdistan. The area, those are the areas that have been attacked, and around the Strait of Hormuz. But the main central part, there is no icon of explosion. And I think I saw a news today. They said Trump is worried.
Yeah.
Netanyahu. By the way, Alan, where is Netanyahu? Let's go back. Where is Netanyahu? People have been asking me, where is Netanyahu? What is going on?
This is the question I've been asking myself. But let's consider, because I say that I would not accept the death of the Ayatollah until the end of the war. I refuse to accept it. You yourself, you saw how the ex-president resurrected from the dead. You even made a video about that.
Yeah.
I saw that and I say, here's the main reason why I don't want to accept the death of this man. I would rather wait.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dispute people who say he died. Fine for you. But for me, I would rather wait before I can confirm. Because Iran has already played this card before. So, but let's picture that the Ayatollah has gone, right? Here is a man who is willing to sacrifice himself for his country. Look, they've been trying to kill that man for years. And if they had come out to us and say, we went under the bunkers and we found him over there hiding and we killed him, we would have said, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
The guy was killed according to them. It's not even Iran saying it. According to them, he was in his office, public office, that even a child who was born in Iran yesterday can show you, here's the public office of the guy.
Believe that.
Yeah. So the guy is like, if he really died, then he's like, I will sacrifice myself for my country. Here's the leader. Now you talk about Netanyahu. Instead of, that comes to show you, instead of him to show the same thing. Look, he doesn't even have to sacrifice himself for anything. All he can do is stay in Israel. But they say the guy is in Germany.
No way.
He is praying the tomb of Hitler to give him courage to commit suicide. That's the only thing I can say, right? Because how is it that an entire week of conflict we have not seen this man? Where is the man? He's going to say he is more scared of dying than any Iranian. But if we want to talk about the death of the leader, let's say the guy died. What this guy did, if he did die, is worse than if he was alive. And now people understand why Putin did not want to kill Zelensky. If Putin had killed Zelensky, he would have made him a martyr, a hero. But look at the way Zelensky is being humiliated in front. Now Zelensky is nothing. Look, people even, now look at the way he's fighting against the Prime Minister of Hungary. Look at the way he's becoming useless. Look at what Trump did to him in the Oval Office. Imagine yourself, Putin had, because people look at Putin, majority of people are goats. They just want to follow action. They want to see chaos. Putin. But Putin is someone who's extremely intelligent, and plus when he makes a decision, because he has already planned for the future. He knew. And who said that Putin did not kill Zelensky? It was the former prime minister of Israel, the one who was right there before Netanyahu came back again to power. He's the one who went to a radio news and said that he spoke to Putin because Zelensky asked the prime minister at the time, please ask Putin if he's going to kill me. He went to Putin, and Putin said, no, we're not going to kill him. That is when you start seeing Zelensky talking trash, because Putin is a man of his word. If he says he's not going to kill you, he's not going to kill you. Now we understand when we talk about the death of the Ayatollah, now we understand why someone like Putin did not want to kill Zelensky, because Trump and Netanyahu thought that by killing the Ayatollah, like they say they did, that it was going to be chaos. It was going to be Iran falling. It was going to be people coming on the street. It was going to be their propaganda working. And then, the country was going, because remember, Israel is not interested in a peaceful Iran. They want chaotic Iran. They want Iran to be like Syria, Iraq, and all those chaotic.
Divide to conquer. Yeah.
Exactly. They can bomb what they want. They can do whatever they want. And so this is what they were thinking. So when it happened immediately and nothing happened, that is when they realized that they made a major mistake. That's when they realized that they did not understand the Iranian government. They didn't understand how Iran society works. They didn't understand, the whole time that they were behind and Iran was advanced way ahead of time, because it is now, right? And Donald Trump wanted to get out. Remember, in the beginning, Donald Trump came and said, where Iran said they want to talk, we're ready to talk to them. Iran did not say anything, but Donald Trump wanted to get out because Donald Trump wanted to take the victory. He wanted to do a Venezuela thing. He wanted to take the victory of the Ayatollah and say, well, we killed the Ayatollah and now we finish our mission. Now Iran is going to, he can get out. And Iran came out and said, oh, no, you're not going anywhere. And Netanyahu got upset. He came and said, Netanyahu said that to Trump, that I hear that you guys want to negotiate with Iran. You're doing it behind my back. Do you want the Epstein file to come out? Trump said, no, that's not. I'm telling you, right? So Trump comes out and says, no, that's fine. We will stick with you, boss leader. We're sticking with you, right? Then Netanyahu went back to his hiding in Germany, right? And so for them, so they realized that Iran, everything we have been saying about Iran, they knew about it the whole time. I don't know if Trump was getting the information. Even if he wasn't getting the information, it is Netanyahu who is the president of the United States, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But with that, now they realize that, so people were saying that the government of Iran can decentralize and continue to function as though nothing is happening. It's like you're cutting the head of snake and then 2-3 more heads are coming out. And you're like, every single time I cut, it multiply more, right? But think about this for a minute, right? Because when you go back to history, martyrdom has always been a very powerful tool. People who kill themselves for a good sacrifice has always been a powerful tool. Think about it. I don't have to teach you anything. Christianity is based on martyrdom. What is this that Jesus Christ did? He did the exact same thing. The only way Jesus could have won with Christianity is by dying. He came, right, because he knew, and he does that based on us human beings, our way of life, our way of thinking. That's what he based that on. So he came in there and took 12 disciples as they tell the story. And he kept telling them, say, look, our goal is to plant a seed. We plant a seed. Our lives is not important. What is important is the ideology, is the message we're trying to send. That's what is important. So don't worry about your life. If you're trying to save your life, you will lose it. He only took 12 disciples. And he said that's enough. Right? And then he went to a park. There were 5,000 people of there. People were saying those were Africans. They were hungry. He multiplied the bread and the fish, gave it to them. And that is the Christianity you see in Africa today, where they're always looking for miracles. Oh, we want the bread. And they didn't understand Christianity. And then after Jesus gave them the bread and the fish, right, he tells them, okay, in order for you to go into the kingdom of God, you're going to have to eat my body and drink my blood. And then they told him, they said, look, just because you gave us bread and fish, you start talking crazy. Man, get out of here. And then all of them left. 5,000 people, they all finished eating Jesus' food and left. 12 disciples stayed. And he asked them, are you also going to leave? They said, no. Those 12 people, except one, all of them accepted to die for the cause. except John. John was the only one who died of natural death, and Judas died of suicide. Every other disciple, even the one who replaced Judas, died in martyrdom. The more they died, they kept multiplying.
Yeah.
You had 300 years of Christian sacrifice. Jews and the Roman were killing Christians like animals for 300 years. Today we have billions of Christians dominating the world. What the Ayatollah, if it is true that he sacrificed himself for the people, it is a worse news than if he's hiding somewhere. I would rather see him hide and bring him at the end, humiliate the United States that way. But if he committed martyrdom, if he's a martyr today, trust me when I tell you, it is worse than what we think.
Alex, straight from the playbook of Ukraine, China and Russia stepped in. Trump is, now, this is what I don't understand. I've seen a few people as well trying to make a big deal. Like, they haven't seen this happening in Ukraine for the last 4 years. Now, I think, for me personally, I think Russia is just warming up. If Donald Trump actually thinks he's been hit in the Middle East, the worst is still yet to come. You see all those aircraft carriers they're sending, China is tracking them, because that we would never have known if not for China. The Chinese have really helped Iran, to be honest. Now, everything is a mess. You know that. Donald Trump had lost it completely because he had no plan. He had no backup plan for all of this. He's now making drastic decisions. I heard he pulled one of the aircraft carrier that was protecting Israel. Something Alford aircraft carrier.
Gerald Alford.
Yeah. It's not going toward Iran. France. France is sending their aircraft to go and replace. Did you hear about the UK? What do you have to say about the UK rejection from Donald Trump that he doesn't want UK's help because they came late? And what's your take on that?
Yeah, no, look, what is happening, right, is, for example, when you look at the UK was the first one to give a response because they were the first one that Trump reached out to in Europe, right? They wanted to use that military base. Now, remember one thing with the UK, Keir Starmer, even before Trump got elected, he never liked Trump, right? And with everything that has been going on with Greenland and all of that stuff, they don't like Trump at all, right? Trump has been extremely hostile against Europeans, extremely hostile, right? And for the first time, you see Keir Starmer coming out and say, look, we think that the attack on Iran is illegal, and we will rather not participate into that. The first thing why UK is doing first is not so much because of Trump. The reason is because UK has been so engaged in Ukraine that they don't have what it takes. If Iran hit their base, it's going to be an embarrassment because they're not going to fight Iran. They don't have what it takes to fight Iran. Yes, look at everything they've invested. They've lost generals, colonel in Ukraine. People had died of that they cannot say out loud because they invested so much thinking that they were going to help Ukraine. And so the very first thing is that they don't have enough. Second thing is that they are already so busy in Ukraine. If you're going to ask them to, because once you start asking them for military base, you're also asking for their assistance.
Yeah.
So when you see Donald Trump getting upset, it's because Donald Trump was thinking that when he's going to go to war, his biggest ally, right, outside of Israel, which is the British, were going to automatically follow and say, we are coming with you, Donald Trump. But he didn't say anything at first. And so Donald Trump went to him and said, okay, give us your military base. Donald Trump was already upset, and then he comes out and said no, right? Then after that, he changed his mind, saying, okay, well, because a drone came to the military base in Cyprus. So they thought that it was Iran who sent the drone. After that, the British have confirmed that it didn't come from Iran. It was coming from Lebanon. It means that it could have been their own ally Israel who sent the drone. Because what Israel is doing, because Israel is losing miserably, Israel is trying to bring in other countries. They are the one who sent the drone to Aramco, That was Israel who shot Aramco. It was we thought it was Iran, but it wasn't Iran.
Yeah.
Turkey, the missile that went to Turkey is Israel as well.
Yeah.
Azerbaijan is Israel still.
Yeah.
So Israel, because they are losing, see, they thought that from the moment when they're coming to war, everybody was going to join them as allies. Nobody has joined them. Nobody. And the worst situation is Spain. Spain is the only country in Europe that came out and said, you know what? We are condemning you. What you did is wrong, and we're not coming to you.
Yeah.
Even Keir Starmer in the British, they will not say out, they wouldn't say out loud that Trump's they are wrong. The French cannot say it out loud. They're just, mumbling about it. This will do this and that and that. Spain is the only country that took the courage and said, we rebuke you. What you did is wrong, and you're not going to use our military base. And so Keir Starmer, right, now what they're trying to do is damage control. They're trying to see how they can try to, be friend again with the United States, and at the same time not participating because they don't have first of all, the support is not there. The parliament is not going to support them. The people are already protesting in the UK. And then the very fact that they are so engaged in Ukraine, what are they going to bring to the table? Everything they are relying on comes from the United States. They have nothing to bring to the table. So they want to avoid any sort of embarrassment, because if Iran starts shooting at Cyprus, the military base from the British, and the British don't respond, is going to be humiliating for them, right? There's one thing people need to understand here. If these people had not provoked Russia, things would have been different.
Yeah.
The major mistake about this entire thing, and where, that is causing this major problem, is Russia. From the moment when 4 years, Europe and the United States have shown hostility against Russia, what they are doing now is they are the one running this Iranian conflict.
Definitely, 100%.
The worst thing you ever want to do is to get Russia involved after the Ukraine conflict, because I said this before, Russia is waiting for an opportunity like this one to go after American soldiers. Russia is trying to get back at Europe. You saw what happened in the beginning. As soon as they, because they're the one advising Iran, they told Iran, hit all of those neighbors so the economy can stop.
Yeah.
Stop the economy. That's the first message, because this is how Donald Trump is going to be affected with the economy. He doesn't like when the economy is touched. So hit them. That is Russia doing that. Now, once that happened, what did you hear from Qatar? We will no longer produce gas. That's it. This is the alternative route of Europe that just signed a deal in December, saying that in 2027, we are no longer buying Russian gas. We will be gone completely from Russian gas.
They are back to China. They are back to Russia now.
Exactly. So the situation is that they were buying from Qatar. They were replacing Russian gas with Qatar, and some of it from the United States, right? Now, the United States itself is not at war. They're not going to be able to produce gas to sell it. They're going to have to first for their own consumption, and war, because production of war needs energy. They need gas, they need oil, they need all that stuff. You saw the Abraham Lincoln, they were hit by 4 missiles. They actually hit them.
Have you seen any images or picture of that for the last week?
Well, they're not going to show you that. They're not going to show you that. You know how embarrassing it is? There's one thing that, I heard one expert talking about, and that is so true. Is like, Russia told Iran, don't sink the Abraham Lincoln. Don't do it. Because if you do it from the very beginning, it's going to embarrass the United States, and it's not going to be effective, because you can encourage the United States to shoot a nuclear weapon. Say that is not going to be effective. So leave them. Don't try to, because it's easy for Iran, now that we see what they're doing, it's easy for Iran to send Fatah to hypersonic weapon and sink that thing completely. Yeah. But Russia told them, no, it's not productive to do that. What is more productive is for you to hit the economy. Chase them away. So they they sent 4 ballistic missiles to the Abraham Lincoln, so they ran away. They are no longer near close. They say it was hit, and so it has to go in a wrench, but we don't know the amount of casualty, but it's still operational. It was just touched, right? So they ran away. Now, Russia telling them to stop the economy. Now you have the gas problem. With the gas problem, Russia came out, Vladimir Putin. And the first thing when he came out, what did he say? He said, we don't have to wait until 2027 to stop.
Yeah.
Yes, to stop selling gas to Europe.
Yeah.
We can stop now.
Yeah.
Because since Qatar is not producing gas anymore, our friends from Asia, those who were there with us, for us, during this conflict, they will need gas. So it's good we start to direct this gas that we're giving to you, arrogant people. We start directing them to our friends in Asia, right? You may have some other country, maybe Philippines or all those other. There are so many countries in Asia that may need that Russian gas. So Russia say we can stop now. After they said, did you see? Because before you say that, the Norwegian prime minister, right? Because Norway is the biggest producer of gas inside Europe after Russia. If you know, they're number 2 after Russia. And since Russia is under sanction, they are now number 1 in Europe. Is Norway. He's the one who came out and say before Vladimir Putin come out. He's the one who came out and say we will need to. Europe will have to reconsider their decision and go back to Russia. He clearly said it because Norway said we don't have capacity to replace Qatar and the United States with liquefied gas and all of that, right? And so the next day, that's when Putin came out and said, "Oh no, we are going to direct our gas to those who help us, to those who are there with us. We can stop now." But Putin is doing that purposely. But ever since that, did you hear anyone in Europe talking? They're not talking. Gas price has gone up. What they're doing behind closed door is they're sending people to beg Russia.
Yeah.
Begging Russia. Russia is having a field day.
Beautiful.
You remove gas, you start talking about oil. They are giving passes to oil and all that. So everything that is happening now is what I was warning in my videos when I say the United States will be too I don't know how to say it. They will be unintelligent for them to go to Iran because Russia is waiting for this type of opportunity.
Even China.
Everybody's now coming out and saying it's Russia that's benefiting from it. Everybody. And the worst part about Russia being part of this is you see how they're conducting the Ukraine conflict.
Yeah.
Everybody's frustrated with Russia because it's been 4 years.
They like slow, steady, the wicked.
There you go. Imagine yourself that this conflict take 4 years. Imagine yourself.
No way.
And this will be
8 days. Donald Trump is begging everybody to join.
I'm telling you. This is why you did not want to get involved into this conflict. Because when you know that you have a country like Russia that has been bleeding for 4 years, fighting the West, what do you think is going to happen? They will take every single opportunity out there to get back at the West.
Yeah.
And that's the worst news that we had this week. Because in reality, they are saying that there is a hospital in Germany that is hosting casualties, American casualties.
Yeah.
And they say they close up an entire ward where the children are being, where they give birth, children born, to bring in American casualties. They're saying there are more than 500 casualties that are there.
Trump said it's 6.
He says 6. What do you think they are going to say? What do you think they're going to say? They can only say 6. They cannot say more than that because it is worse. It is embarrassing. Donald Trump is already the worst president of the generation of this country. I'm telling you, it is extremely bad, right? Extremely bad.
So, Alex, just quickly, because I'm looking at the comment section, so I'm getting some questions.
Yes.
Somebody's asking, so how does this, obviously we know, you and me know the Western media is no longer functioning. They are more like part of the system now.
Yeah.
So, Israel is censored, right?
Yeah.
Nobody can talk about Israel.
Exactly.
But we can talk about the United States. This is what I don't understand. Well, obviously I don't have to go there. We already know what control they have on Donald Trump. But how does it work that we talk about Iran? They talk about the oil refinery was all over the news today. I saw it and I laughed. They talked about how they hit all the western part, how they are destroying Iranian, Navy ship, this, that. But they're not reporting the other side. And when we come here and report the other side, because a lot of people they're so used to believing, all these funny news stations, and because they haven't been told, or because these big top news stations are not talking about it, they come and argue with you. But what is this idea of what is Israel? Israel, somebody showed, so there's a guy, I don't know if you know the guy, I can't remember his name now, his account has been taken off. He actually had nearly 1 million followers, he's from Israel. And he staged a massive protest. He published, obviously he said he's going to go to prison, so people should just know. He published, honestly, Gaza is better. Because with that Fatah, whatever missile using, whatever warhead they put on that, only God knows. Anything around goes off. You understand? Yeah. So what is this idea that we have to discuss one side, we can't discuss another side? How does that? What's your take? What's your feeling? How do you think that works?
But you know that these people have been telling us for years that they're democratic countries, that there's freedom of speech in their countries, that if you were to live in those countries, you will be way much better, because in Iran, in countries like Iran, North Korea, Russia, China, they don't give you freedom of speech. And today we are seeing them being exposed in a way that we can never imagine, right? You are saying, I asked you earlier before if you saw this guy from CNN in Iran. The guy got a visa in Iran during wartime. Imagine yourself. We know what CNN is. We know it's a propaganda. But matter of fact, just recently they saying that CNN has just been sold to one of the MAGA Epstein group, right? And so we know what CNN is, but purposely Iran has allowed the CNN anchor to go all over the place to show whatever he wants to show. Why is it that in the democratic countries of Israel, you're not allowed to see it? These people are coming and say, "Oh, we are spreading fake news. You guys are lying about the U.S. The U.S. is the most powerful country on earth. Israel is doing well." Oh, well, answer that to me for those of you who are watching us and you are supporting your Israel. Why is it that they're hiding? What is there to hide? What are we hiding from? Look, when they hit something like they hit the oil in Iran, they were happy to show it. So look, Iran is burning. Iran is burning. Okay, you guys are winning. Why are you hiding your wins? Right? You're victorious. You're the most powerful countries on earth. Israel is a country of God. The people of God. They have the hand of God. They're hiding. What is there to hide?
Yeah.
The truth is that Israel and Gaza are not same.
Yeah.
Man, look, there is no word to describe what Israel is going through right now. We would need a new word in a dictionary to tell you exactly what Iran is going through, what Israel is going through. I'm telling you, the beating is worse. And keep in mind, we're just 1 week into this conflict. In the beating that they received last time was 12 days. It means that it was about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
1 week. Israel, when I was coming in today, people were sending messages saying that they've told them that the air defense systems are done.
Yeah.
They are no longer, the air defense is going crazy. It's just sending missiles anyhow after some of the missiles have already come down. The sirens are coming after the bombing, the missile launches. It is extremely bad. We're talking about Tel Aviv. Even the anchor, the CNN anchor was in Tel Aviv and came and said that Israel does not want us to show this. They have admitted.
Yeah.
And so you're asking the question. I asked the same question. And my question is, what is Israel? Those of you who are following Israel, can you enlighten us on what they're hiding? What is that they're hiding? When you win, we all know how the West works. When they win, they want everybody to know about it. Even the village people that don't have TV, they still want them to know about it. Right? they want God to come down from where he is So they can tell God at the table, sit down at the table with God and say, look, we are beating. So why are they hiding things now? Show us you are victorious. Iran has been transparent in showing the damages you are doing in their country. Show us the damage in Israel so that we can say, yes, the US and Israel are powerful countries, right?
Yeah.
So we can applaud them. We want to applaud you. We want to believe that you are not a paper tiger. We want to believe that, right? Hollywood is the one to learn from the US military.
Yeah.
Now, what we see is that the only wars that the US and Israel can win is in Hollywood. That's the only wars. I'm still waiting for Captain America. Captain America has not come yet. Superman, where's Superman? Or somebody saw Spider-Man. What? Look, they have so many. They can invite even Black Panthers from Africa, Wakanda. They can bring him. They have so many superheroes. I'm still waiting for them to come and show us that. Look, and I'm gonna tell you the worst part about these people, right, is before the conflict they've been telling us that Iran is weak. Iran is weak. Iran is weak. I have not heard this weak word ever since this conflict has started. I haven't heard that word again. I don't know if I'm the one that is not listening to very well.
Listen, Alex, 5 aircraft carrier heading to Iran. 2 nuclear powered countries. People see it on. It really baffled me when I see a lot of. Now, we already know this. Religion has gone into our own people's head, so they don't really understand what is right or what is wrong anymore. But it baffles me when I see people come out to talk, and they just talk like I don't know, maybe it's ignorant, or even sometimes I'm thinking education is not a scam, it's not working. They need to look for something else to replace education, because it's really shocking. Really shocking. Same thing, I talked about the situation that was going on between Sierra Leone and Guinea-Conakry. You see, Africans are beginning to say, now they understand. But when it comes to geopolitics, I don't know, maybe, I just don't know. What is wrong is wrong. How can you go attack a nation during a negotiation? All because, no, Alex, if someone would have told me that an American citizen and the president for that matter would go to war to protect some pedophile case file, I would not believe it.
Never.
I would never have believed it. Congress was not aware of it. Even the vice president, he said he wasn't in the room when they made that call to attack Iran. There's a guy, I forgot his name, there's an American, it's Republican, I think. He put forward a motion calling for Donald Trump to remove American from this war immediately. They voted on that motion on Wednesday. It didn't pass by just 5 votes. Shocking. Obviously, we know it's not going to pass because Donald Trump has, majority in both houses. So, but this is not about 20 Republicans revote that they're not going to vote. But obviously, they got bullied, and they have to flip their vote to
exactly
that motion would have passed. Again, some of us think. I used to be really worried when I hear people comment or they say things, and I'm thinking, these are my African brothers and sisters. If they're talking like this, are you sure something is right? But now I understand. I've given up, because the way we think in terms of geopolitics and we analyze things, it's different from how people see things. But we're going to continue to do what we do. And those who hear, who listen, we hear. But those who doesn't, they won't.
Yeah.
Why is Donald Trump asking for help? Why he started this war? Why is he going around begging for NATO countries behind closed doors for help? Alex?
Yeah. Look, Donald Trump they don't give him most of the intelligence information. Yeah, because remember, Donald Trump is someone who doesn't control his mouth. If you start to give him the truth all the time, he's going to come out and say it. Remember, after the 12 days conflict, he came out and said, yeah, Iran gave a beating to Israel as well. And people didn't like when he said that, right? And so Donald Trump is someone that you don't give too much information. They give him enough, right? And so he was not aware of most of what is going on now. He's just beginning to know those things because they don't have a choice. Because they need for him to approve certain things. Imagine that they come to Donald Trump, the way they like to lie and say, "Oh, we are winning. We hit 90% of their launches. We hit okay." And then you come and say, "We need more money so we can send to Israel so they can buy more ammunition." They said, "Okay, but you say you're
billion, 60 billion,
60 billion, exactly." And then they say, "Okay, but you say you're winning. How come you need more?" Right? So they have to not tell him the truth that no, look, the reality is that although we're winning, but there's still one fraction we need to hit. That little one, they are too stubborn. We need to hit them, right? And so, so they come in there. And as we are going, as the war is going, is when they're giving him the truth. They're giving him the truth as they're going. They came out and say, and America, is a country that surprised me sometimes. They came out and say, we are running out of defense ammunition. Why would you say that out loud? I don't understand. Exactly. Why would you want to keep that information secret? So you come out and just say that.
That's why they can't keep it secret. It's too bad. They have to say it.
You want to tell your enemy that you're running out of ammunition. And so they come out and say these things. And so Donald Trump is learning as we go. That's why Donald Trump is like, okay, he believes on the inside, he believes that he knows that it's bad. Yeah. Now, and you remember, Donald Trump is not a warmonger. He's not. If you look at his first presidency, this is why many people supported him. Because his first presidency, he was the only president who didn't go to war. He fought those people seriously. He fought them. That's why they didn't like him. That's why you see the way they treated him the first time. And when they finally figure out how to get Donald Trump, is that he's a guy who loves money. He's corrupt. He likes, all you need to do is praise him. All you need to do is praise him, give him money, and then give him power. That's all you need to do.
Give him the Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize.
The Nobel Peace Prize, right? Give him those things. Then that's it. You don't need to do more than that. Don't give him most of the secrets. If you want to do something, Netanyahu is the president of the United States. They say when it comes to the plan of what we're going to do, we're not going to tell him. But when you're already into a war, Netanyahu told Donald Trump that when we start this war, I know this war is not going to be popular, they're going to be upset, but when it started, they are our allies, they are going to be obligated to join. And until this week, nobody has joined. And so that's why, they didn't say anything, but that's why they're saying now Donald Trump is going around saying, oh, well, he gets upset at how you call it, the UK. He gets upset at the UK. He gets upset at Spain because in their head is like they were not going to ask them. It was going to be automatic join. Our ally, the United States, is joining. Let's follow him. It was going to be like that, but nothing like that happened. This is the first time something like that happened. Specifically, the UK. The UK has always been the United States. Always. Look at the Iraq War. During the Iraq War, France stepped away. Right? Jacques Chirac said, we're not going with the United States. For the first time, France was like, no. But the UK was there with the United States without nobody asking them, right? And so this time, even the UK, nobody wants to be part. And so Donald Trump, hearing the truth that, look, Iran, because the thing that hit them the first time is we killed the Ayatollah and they're still fighting. We killed the Ayatollah and they're still together. They're talking about decentralizing, multiplying heads and stuff, and it still continue. That's when Donald Trump figured that, maybe it's time I start asking for help.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump, he's full of arrogance.
One of the MPs here in UK, the lady is called Yves Cooper. She came online today to defend Keir Starmer. He said, UK refused to join because UK had learned a lot from the Iraq war because there was a lot of misleading information that led to it. So they're not going to do that again. The UK system is a parliamentary system. They have to go to parliament have to speak, not like the United States where one man can just override and make a decision. So I think the UK, like you said, I think they've got their hand too much into the Ukraine situation. They're like the leading champion when it comes to the EU side, the coalition of unwilling.
Exactly.
So for them to branch out right now, it's going to stretch them out.
Yes. Look at it. They've been 4 wars into a war. I'm sorry, 4 years. I mean to say 4 years into a war. Because Russia dragged them into this conflict, them not knowing that they will have to be engaged into the way that they are engaged. And so they are so engaged into the Ukraine conflict because they want to avoid humiliation, that Trump is starting a new war. How are you going to participate in 2 wars? But they're not going to tell you that out loud. You talk about this lady that came and defend, but I'm going to tell you how black people are. There is this one black lady that is from the UK over there. I don't know if you saw her. She's the one encouraging UK to go in and join with Donald Trump. I was surprised. I said, look at black people, man. There's always us somewhere trying to do some crazy stuff. This woman is up there talking with the British accent, and everything, talking about, Keir Starmer should have gone ahead and be. I'm like, and then I thought there's, I would say a white person coming there too, I wouldn't be surprised. It's always us. One of us have to go in there and try to do, one of these crazy things. And so you find yourself, Europe find themselves in a situation where is a trap for, that has been placed by Russia and China. And because you are bugged into a 4 year, and Donald Trump fell into this trap, and they saw it coming. Imagine yourself that everybody, the UK, the European Union, because they are puppet of the United States, all of them refused to sanction Israel. But they saw what Israel was doing. They've always seen how Israel is killing the people of Gaza, committing genocide and all of that stuff. They refuse to sanction them or to even take any sort of action against them. And then so you get yourself in a situation where everybody is seeing how we've been talking about this, how Netanyahu is dragging Donald Trump into a conflict. And the EU leaders were thinking, I guess like me, that, maybe the Trump administration is smart enough, like, the Biden and all of them to say, look, we can go into a certain degree. But what we have realized as we're going along is that Donald Trump is so corrupt, like he was completely bought by the Israeli government, that you cannot stop what Israel wants to do. And Israel doesn't care about it. The United States doesn't care about anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Their thing is they want to finish Iran so that they can be number one in this place. And so when you have the Europeans are coming and you see them acting the way that they act, because that it is bad. They fell into the Russian trap because now Russia is telling them, okay, you're not going to have gas. You're not going to have oil. Your pump is going to go up. Yeah. You're going to be begging for a whole lot of energy because even war, for you to fight a war, you still need energy. Now you need double energy, right? So now what are you going to do? Are you going to come back to Russia or are you going to do what? Now they have fell into this trap and they don't know what to do. I'm telling you,